My name is Patty Fox. On March 28th, 2025, our family's life changed forever. My daughter Carissa was catastrophically injured by an illegal alien who never should have been in this country in the first place. She suffered a severe traumatic brain injury. She spent a month in a coma. Surgeons had to remove part of her skull to save her life. And more than a year later, she still can't speak, she can't walk, she can't care for herself, she can't eat. She requires around-the-clock care for even the most basic needs. Our family has learned to celebrate the smallest victories, a response to a familiar voice, a brief moment of eye contact, a movement that wasn't there before. But the reality is, Carissa's recovery won't be measured in weeks or months. It will be measured in years. This isn't a season we're walking through. This is our life now. When people talk about sanctuary policy, too often the conversation stays political. For my family, it's personal. The consequences are personal. The cost is personal. Because when local and state governments refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities, American families pay the price. My family paid the price. Carissa paid the price. That's why I believe cooperation between local law enforcement, state agencies, and ICE is not a political issue. It's a public safety issue. It's about preventing other families from experiencing the nightmare that became our reality. Today, care depends on Medicaid waivers. Like many families caring for a loved one with profound disability, we rely on those services to help keep her at home where she belongs. And because I live in that world every day now, I've learned something important. Every dollar lost to fraud, waste, and abuse is a dollar that isn't available for families who genuinely need help. When resources are wasted, vulnerable families suffer. The answer isn't taking services away from those who need them. The answer is making sure that the system is accountable, transparent, and focused on the people it was created to serve. Colorado families deserve to know their tax dollars are reaching the people who need them most. That's one of the reasons I'm supporting 𝗀𝗃𝘁𝘆 for governor. Scott is a man of God. He understands that leadership is accountable. He has shown the courage to stand firm on his conviction, even when it's unpopular. In a time when too many politicians are willing to compromise away their principles 1 inch at a time, 𝗀𝗃𝘁𝘆 has been willing to draw the line and stand his ground. And Colorado desperately needs that kind of leadership because for years we've watched our state lose ground. We've lost ground on public safety. We've lost ground on accountability. We've lost ground on common sense. We don't need another politician who simply promises to stop the damage. We need leaders willing to fight to reclaim ground that has already been lost. Every night before I go to bed, I check on Carissa. I look at my daughter and I wonder what her future could have been. I think about the life she was building, the dreams she had, the independence she was working toward. And then I remembered all of it was taken from her in an instant by someone who shouldn't have been here. Carissa can't speak for herself today. She is still fighting her way back from a fully preventable tragedy that changed all of our lives. That reality never leaves us, but neither does hope. Every day, Carissa keeps fighting. Every day, she reminds us what courage looks like. And if she can keep fighting through everything that has been taken from her, then the rest of us have the responsibility to fight too. We can make sure that her suffering wasn't ignored. We can make sure the lessons are learned. We can stand together and say, not one more. Not one more family devastated by a preventable tragedy. Not one more victim sacrificed to failed policy. Not one more politician willing to look the other way. For Carissa, for Colorado, for the families who are counting on us to get this right. That's why I'm endorsing 𝗀𝗃𝘁𝘆 for governor, because Colorado families deserve leaders willing to stand their ground and fight to reclaim our beautiful state.